Hello there everybody and a very warm welcome to today's video. We're on the ground today in southern Spain down in Malaga, and we are flying this British Airways flight today, BA8488, bound to London City in this Embraer 190. The summer season has come to an end now, however this BA City Flyer service is a yearly operated route, so the flights from London City to Malaga operate all year round, just with a reduced service obviously in the winter season for the obvious reasons, but you know, the demand apparently is there. That's what BA are saying. So Embraer 190 today, we've got quite a high payload, especially considering the time of year it is. We are taking today the limit passengers are, we can actually get 100 per 100 people on this configured Embraer today, and we're actually taking bang on 100 people back to London. So it's a fully loaded aircraft today, and we've got in the cargo we've got in the cargo today 6.2. So it's, yeah, we're quite heavy with cargo as well. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. It's been quite a while since I've actually done a flight on P3D. I mean, it's probably been a few months. I've had to move a house and got to sort out a lot of stuff for headeth and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff's going on at the minute, and I just thought, you know, while I can, we'll do a lovely service to London. Flight time back to London is quite long, about 2 hours 25 minutes today. Obviously the approach into the city is quite a long-winded approach, heading out over the north of Malaga. Then through main of Spain, bang over Madrid, over Santander in the northern tip of Spain, over the Bay of Biscay, over the western tip of France, or the northwest tip of France, over Rennes, over Normandy, and then starting our descent over Normandy and over the Channel. And then obviously the approach into Cebu City, you follow the Channel down and then towards sort of Dover, and then you make the left-hand turn in and fly down the Thames into the city this evening. Or this afternoon, sorry. London City weather today, it's quite cloudy in the vicinity, with gusting up to 15 knot winds at the moment in time. Clouds broken around 4,500 feet, and it's only 10 degrees on the ground. Whereas down here in Malaga, it's rather nice, scattered cloud, and it's at 20 degrees on the ground, and there's not a wind, or only 2 knots of wind as well. So we're going to head to the flight deck, we're going to start setting up, and we're going to go from here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch the GPU on and the batteries. They can come on, ensure the fast and simple signs and non-smoking signs are on as well, just double click them like that. Nav lights are on, that's okay. Overhead panel is okay for the time being. Let the IRSs align themselves, so we're going to come down to the first MCDU here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the nav page, we're going to go to the position sensors, pause in it, and we're going to load in the first IRS aligning. It should align in just a second. So LEMG to Echo Golf Lima Charlie today, and the routing, we are going on a, let's get the route, activate that, departing out of Malaga. Obviously, like I said, the winds were at 300 at 2 knots, so it's going to be a runway 30, I believe. I will just double check the runway and we shall go from there. 1 second. We shall be operating a runway 31 departure on a Bravo Lima November 1 uniform, I believe. Is that correct? 1 uniform, yes. Bang. Insert that. So we'll insert that as so. And then from Bravo Lima November, we're heading Upper November 865. It's quite a standard route from southern Spain. When you sort of do the flights from southern Spain quite a lot, you sort of do get to sort of see the same old sort of waypoints. But then it's Upper November 865, 65, full stop to D-log. From D-log, it's Upper November 873, 873, full stop D-sab. From D-sab, it's Upper November 867 to Rinso. Okay, so from Rinso, it's Upper Mike 184 to Dicro, Mike 184 to Dicro. From Dicro, Upper Zulu 273. Oh, sorry about that. My phone just vibrating. Upper Zulu 273 to Anglo. From Anglo it's Upper Mike 189 to Neville, 189 to Neville, and then it's the Godlu arrival. Runway, we'll put that in and we'll go to the nav page. We'll go arrival, landing runway at London City is going to be runway 27 scheduled, ILS 27, and it is no transition. We just want to go straight onto the Godlu 1 Fox, I believe. I will just double check that because I want to ensure we're going on the right arrival. The flight plan is telling us they want us to do a Godlu 1 Fox, which is fine. Godlu 1 Fox in there, insert that in the box, activate that, go towards the perfect in it. Perfect leaf cruise at LRC. The reserve fuel we're taking today is going to be 652 pounds. Transition altitude out of Malaga, I believe, is 6,000 feet. I will double check before departing. Cruising altitude today, PFPX's cruise has given us a flight level 380, so it's 380 for the cruise today. And zero fuel weight. Our zero fuel weight today is 37.750 or 37750. Zero fuel weight today. Confirm. Takeoff. Okay, so the winds are at 300 at 2 knots. And that means we'll have a headwind of straight bang on over 2 knots. V1 today is at 136. Rotate is at 137. And V2 is 141. And we've got a VFS speed of 185 today. And we'll insert that like so. Climb, cruise, that's fine, everything is okay. Optimum is 4, flight level 400, step climb is 38,000 is what we're going to do. Speed for the cruise is going to be around about 255, we'll stick that in now. 250 apparently according to that. I'll try 255 again, it's not liking it, we'll change that a little bit later. So flight plan, all of this is now on. We can now request boarding. So we'll request boarding and hopefully that does its thing, and it's also got the descent programmed in. I'm just going to get rid of that discon, which I've missed now for the second time. I'm not going to miss it this time. Delete discon, activate that, that's perfect. We'll flight plan that again, that's okay. Now we'll come up to the autopilot panel, we'll go FMS, we'll go hectopascals, reset local QNH, barrow on the minimums, we want FMS, flight director can come on. Departing heading out of Malaga is going to be 300 or 301 or 2, whatever is okay. Operating on FMS obviously today, heading just as it is, speed to FMS as well, altitude after departure is straight up to flight level 60 or the transition altitude. There is no air traffic control online, so we will not be worrying too much about that. Down to the radio, COM 1.122.80 with a Squawker 2000 in like so. Brilliant, okay. Map, we want the airports on our map, we want the waypoint identifier, we want the progress, we want a waypoint identifier, we want progress, we want vertical profile, and we want TCAS when it's on, which it is, or will be on in just a little while. Auto brake can go straight to RTO, and that is going to be it. It's a little bit quick there, but that's how it's done. The left-hand seat flying at this Embraer 190 today. Everything's okay, we're going to let the boarding commence, and then we will be back very shortly once the boarding has concluded and ready for our push and start here at Malaga. Okay then, so the boarding is completed, the doors have just been closed and the pushback has been requested. So we're now going to lose the jetway and the rear stairs, hopefully, yep, they're coming down now. Now for a nose left tail right today for a taxi out to runway 3. 1 second. Yep, so a taxi out to the runway 31 today. Okay, so APU is on, we can lose the GPU now and we can turn on the red beacon lights. And then we can open up the shields and so it's ready to start the engines. Ensure that it's ignition both to auto, and that's okay. Everything's ready to go down there. Taking off flap today, we'll be taking off flap 3, I believe. I will just double check the briefing. Release the parking brake. And here goes the push. There we go. Okay. Just want to see him. We've cleared the stairs, that's fine. There is nothing behind us. We should obviously be fine to start the engines, but just let's stand by it. There's the starting that turn now. We'll start the right engine, so we'll flick it across the start. The N2 increases. N2 gets for between sort of like 15 and 20, and then E1 will ignite. Maybe push on maybe a little bit past 20, but there we go. Wait for the ignition. M1's starting to increase slowly. There's the auto ignition as the N2 increases dramatically. And obviously that's just warning us that number 1 isn't on, which is fine. Close the hatch on number 2, let that stabilise, then we'll start number 1. Set the parking brake. Stand by for number 1. Start number 1. Flick it across the start. Same will happen. The N2 will slowly increase to sort of 20. Then it'll auto ignite. Then the M1 will increase. Then we should be all okay. Okay, systems, flight controls. Stand by for the flight controls. We'll do that test in just a second. Okay, seems to be stabilising off. That's fine. We'll close the hatch on number. We'll close the protector, the guard protector on number 1 as well. Okay, flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down. Perfect. Rudder. Full left, full right. Perfect. Centre that. There we go. A little bit off still, but that's okay. Okay, back to the map. The taxi lights can come on because the tug's not there. Taxi light on. Have a good trip, that's fine, we're okay to taxi. Release the parking brakes, slowly increase the throttle. And we'll set today's takeoff flap, which is flap 3 for takeoff today. And we'll lose APU. Okay, down to runway 31 we go. Okay, so down to the radio stack. TGAS can come on to TARA, that's fine. The autopilot panel is ready to go. Flight director's on, auto throttle, we'll put that on, just entering the runway, and then we'll be ready to go. After departure, we'll fly a bit of runway heading before then knocking it all straight into the autopilot. We'll go on to the nav, and then it'll let it fly itself up to London City. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Seats for departure, please. Okay, strobes can come on. Landing lights can also now come on. Brilliant. Clear on the approach. Go straight on. Alarm the auto throttle now. Set the parking brake. That's fine. Track TO toggle button is engaged. That's fine. Let's slowly increase that throttle now. There we go.
No takeoff. Brake.
Holding the brakes. Holding the brakes. Thrust set. Both.
Thrust checked.
And lose the brakes. Let's go. Take off.
Speed alive. $80 knots.
100 knots. Watch the steep climb. Look at this climb out in Embraer. Oh, incredible.
V1.
Over it. V1 rotates.
Rotate.
Looking for about 15 degrees on the pitch.
Positive brake.
There we go. About 15 degrees now. There we go. Positive rate gear up.
Approaching minimums.
Ignore the minimums. Cool.
Gear up.
Let's try and aim out a little bit more. Probably go for about 18 degrees on the pitch now. It's a quick climber, this one. Lovely. Okay, so passing 1,000 feet straight away, you're going to go autopilot on. We're going to go to flick it across to manual speed, and we'll control the speed manually to 195. Oh no, we'll go up to the manual. Go up to the best speed as possible. In this case, it's going to be about one or flight level. Sorry. We're going to go up to speed to 200. We've hit flight level change, so the aircraft will now start climbing to 6,000 feet off the level change. We've gone flap 2. We'll recycle the altitude now. Obviously, there's no air traffic control lines, so we're going to recycle the altitude straight up to flight level 120. Flap 1 now. Like I say, so what we've done there is altitude up to flight level 120. Speed still at 200 knots. We've knocked up to flap 1, and we'll let it climb out for just a little bit, and we'll hit the nav button. And then we hit LNAV, there we go. Speed up now to 20 knots. Flaps up. This aircraft really does rocket out of anywhere really. So reset local QNH 1013. Look to try and push it for standard. It's quite hard to get that sort of push for standard QNH sort of thing, but we'll hopefully get it in just a second. Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. There we go. There it is. There it is. There we go. Standard on the QNH. Speed now increased to level 250. We'll maintain climbing to flight level 120, speed 250 knots, and we will release the cabin crew. And also, if it's going to help us a little bit, we'll go straight redirect Bravo Lima November, activate that, redirect there, and then there we go. So there we go, we're en route now to London City. Everything is all A-OK. Passing flight level 80, very shortly we'll go on to the FMS speed. And we'll do FMS speed now, and we'll do VNAV as well. There we go. Recycle to the cruise, 38,000 feet. There we go, brilliant. Okay, so there we have it. We will very shortly be back, or in about 2 hours we'll be back for our approach into London City. And we will see you then. So then, hello everybody, welcome back to our approach into London City this afternoon, or this early evening. ILS-27, we've just left the arrival. We're currently on a heading of 306 degrees. We're going to fly a little bit more to the right in just a second to hopefully intercept that localizer and to bring ourselves down on the glide path at London City. We're just going down to flight level 70. Speed going to go up to 240 now. So obviously London City, there's a few things you have to take into consideration when flying into this aerodrome. One of the first things I like to consider is to get yourself configured early, flaps down, gear down before you hit that, the glide path diamond starts to drop. Obvious reasons behind that are the fact that I like the idea of sort of being able to get that speed way back, because obviously the steep approach you're going to be gaining some speed. Nothing really much else regarding our arrival at the moment, that is, obviously. Just going to ensure it's 1.1.15 is set. That's perfect. Radio, I'll have one. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, so we've had to get down to flight level 60. We'll reset QNH 1023 hectopascals in just a second. There we go, 1023, 6,500 feet. And we'll go down to 5,000 now. Maintaining to about 245, quite a high speed approach. A little bit bumpy at the minute. I'll bring that speed back in just a second. It's the 1,000 to go alarm. I'll maintain this heading. Actually, no, we'll whip it back out a little bit more to 315. Hopefully establish it on that heading. Here's the Thames, just below us now. I believe Southend is somewhere around here as well. We'll probably bring that turn back in just a little while. So we'll maintain it as we are, for the time being, that is. Then we should be okay. We'll speed up to 250 now. $17 knots on the nose. We'll go to nav arrival. No, it's progress. Nav. Can't really read the FMS up here. Bit of a shame, that is. Okay, we'll bring that in just a little bit now. 300 on the heading. Menu, performance, landing. Winds at London City are as follows. It's 310 at 4 knots, 310 at 4 knots. Winds have calmed down quite nicely, to be honest, and we have a VRF speed of 135. Brilliant, okay. We'll start to bring that speed back now to 220 knots. And as you can see, hopefully you'll get that localizer in just a little while, or not too long, that is. 111.15, order 111.15 FMS. Yeah, that's perfect, okay. That's fine, yeah. Course 274. Brilliant. There's the localizer. We've found the localizer, or it hasn't found the localizer yet, that's the wrong, but it's picked it up on the display. So what we're going to do now is down to 4,000 feet on the flight level change. We'll level off at 230 knots. We need to start reducing this speed a little bit quicker. We'll have a little bit of speed brake. Speed back to 100 knots. There we go, she's coming back nicely now to speed. When we level off, we'll start getting some flaps out. And in fact, I'm probably happy to get some flaps out now. We'll lose the speed brake, flap 1 and flap 2, there we go, flap 2, speed back 190 knots. and down to 3,000 feet on the flight level change. And we'll whip that heading in on 295 and we'll establish on 290 and we'll establish on the heading 290 as well. Thousand to go. Obviously, like I say, we are vertical speed it now. Obviously, like I say, we're configured now at 3,000 feet. We're quite low, but we're at this sort of stage where we need to be for this this time of the flight. Obviously, like I say, London City, you've got to get configured early, and that's what we're gonna do here. So we're on flap 2 at the minute. So we'll bring the speed back to 180 knots. We'll go flap 3, and we'll reduce it to the speed it's asking for. We'll bring it back to 180 knots for the time being. Still got about 100 feet left to lose. Okay, now speed back 160 knots. Lovely, surviving quite nicely, the aircraft, to be honest. Okay, so we're waiting for that localizer to sort of to come in, and then we should be okay. When we start to get the localizer, I'm going to continue the descent down to 2,000 feet, and we'll fully configure at 2,000. In fact, I'll go 2,000 feet now, and we'll use vertical speed to get us down there. We're going to go running for 800 on the vertical speed. And we'll reduce it to 600. I don't know if you can roughly see the lights of London City, just out to the sort of northwest. Probably bang on heading to about 270 degrees, to be honest. Up to 170 knots. And localizer diamond is starting to come in now. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Seats for landing, thank you. Okay, back to 160. About to level off 2,000, there's the localizer. So, okay, this is where we need to start our preparation and getting fully configured. So what we'll do now is we'll maintain 160 knots, we'll go flap down another notch. As the dog's getting thrown around quite a bit coming down here at the minute, as you can probably make out. Okay, so final approach speed, get it back, 135 is our final approach speed today. I should start bleeding black. Here we go. Another notch of flaps. We'll take the gear now. And stand by for flap full. Flap full. Here we go. Fully configured, ready to take control. As soon as that diamond starts dropping, we're going to lose the autopilot and we're going to lose the auto throttle. So that's going to be the first thing we do, and then we'll be bringing it down manually, and we'll recycle altitude now to 3000, which is the go around, or our go around altitude today. So there we go, we're fully configured, ready to come down. Just now got to wait for that all important diamond to drop. 13 knots on the cross, as you can see on the main display just in front of me there, and everything apart from that is all okay. Everything's looking fine to go. Plenty of fuel on board as well. We may have brought a little bit too much. As soon as it starts to drop, we'll lose the throttle, and then autopilot. Just got to wait. It does seem like leaving it a little bit late, but obviously the 5.5 degree glide here at London City is what it's most renowned for. Renowned for. Sorry, wrong bit of vocabulary there. Okay, it's time to get ready. I'm just going to drop any second now. For DME now. Getting a little bit windy now, a little bit bumpy. Just concentrating on that display. Okay, so there we go. There's the drop, there's the throttle, there's the autopilot. Ride all the power and bring her down. 5.5 degrees on the drop. There we go, there's 5.5 degrees. Idle the power. This is idle power, bear in mind, so hopefully the lower we get, the more the wind dies down. It's died down to 13 knots now. There we go. Runway in sight, ignore the calls.
Glide slope, 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 glide slope.
Ignoring the calls.
Approaching minimums. Minimums, minimums.
Continue. 500 feet. Ignoring the calls, ignoring the calls.
100.
Here we go.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
We're down. Reverse green. Decel. 70 knots, cancel reverse. 60 knots, manual brakes. There we go. Welcome to London City.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our destination. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Quite a firm landing, but it always is into the city.
I hope your flight was pleasant, and I look forward to seeing you again.
There we go. We'll just hold short here, and we'll just clean up the Embraer. So auto brake off, landing lights off, strobes off, keep the taxi lights on, start APU. There we go. They're heading down here today. Landing rate was minus 314, minus 314. Not too bad at all for London City. Lose the taxi lights. Okay, I want gate 22, but obviously, actually correction, I want gate 23, but obvious issues at London City are the turning and the modelling of the turning at London, on the Embraer Wilco, sorry, is not modelled correctly, so we will be turning in at 24 using the obvious bit more space than what is actually required or is provided at London City, but it's just the only way we can get her in, unfortunately. And then we go to an exterior view because there are no marshallers here helping us in, and we'll marshal ourselves in, or we'll go in as the following. Here we go. Just touch the brakes again, and we'll stop just about there. Brilliant. Set the parking brakes. There we go. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Disarm the doors for arrival, please. Thank you. Lose number 2. Check APU has started, which it has 100%. Wait for number 2 to cut off, and we will lose number 1. Okay, civil signs can come off. Stand by, the beacon light off, and we will request. We won't request deboarding because for some reason GSX isn't liking it. But there we have it. There we have it. APU still on, waiting for the ground power. That will illuminate very shortly. But that's it, really. There's not really much else for myself to say. We've successfully arrived here at London City. The flaps are still going up, apparently. But there we have it. It's been an absolute pleasure. Another flight into the city, which is always lovely. And apparently these gates aren't available, or the gate we're parked on isn't available, which is a little bit poor. So there we have it though. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope you've enjoyed the flight in the Embraer. I hope you enjoyed the approach into London City. It's always quite interesting, and I do look forward to the next video. So all that's left for myself to say, guys, is thank you very much, and please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.